Now, back to Flow on the technical side, there's been a lot of talk about, issues around deploying WPA3, given that, the support of different vendors was, kind of building on proprietary solutions. Have you run into issues with WPA3?
Yeah, we have. I think in our case, the challenge is how WPA3 is being implemented in relation to DPSK. There's many ways to do that, right? It fundamentally changes the way WPA2 and DPSK work when they move to PA3. So the good news is our vendor that we've primarily chosen, Ruckus, has a good path for that, right? And so we've been working through the testing with that. We do have a portal that which leverages another vendor, and we've actually been able to have conversations both with Ruckus and that other portal vendor for them to work together to actually create a way for WPA3 and DA to work together well. So we're very close to launching our Wi-Fi 7 solution that leverages PA3 and DSK.
Well, since you mentioned Wi-Fi 7, when do you expect to deploy Wi-Fi 7 and why?
Well, the why for Wi-Fi 7 is because of all the advanced features, right? Better bandwidth and more stability. Adding the additional 6 gigahertz spectrum allows for a significant a new branch of real estate for a Wi-Fi to exist in, right? So that's the reason why deploying Wi-Fi 7. But the other thing is that when we deploy Wi-Fi 7, we're running into requests from the telecom consultants, right? So within the telecom consulting space, they define RFPs or they define the criteria for RFPs, and then we respond to those. And we're starting to see that out there, right? And so when a RFP comes through with a Wi-Fi 7 requirement, in order for Gigstream to stay competitive, we have to be able to reply to that and to deliver that product.
Okay, that's a good point. I'll get back to you, Patrick, in a moment. But since you mentioned also telecom consultant, I had a question about that. And who do you work with? Why are they so important in this business?
So within the engineering side, we don't directly deal with the consultants on a direct basis, but our sales teams are in front of them all the time, and they transfer the requirements over to us, right? And the sales consultants, the telecom consultants, they're the ones that are effectively defining the ask, right? What the customer wants. And so they're educating their customers and clients on what's out there and what's the best next step for their network to future proof it. And then they're putting that into requirement form. And then so when it comes to us, it's effectively like the roadmap for us on where we need to be in order to be competitive in this space.
Gotcha. All right.